Hello everyone, welcome to my channel.
In this tutorial, I'm gonna tell you about GameObject. Currently, there are two of them in the scene. One is main camera and another is directional light. If you wanna make a GameObject in Unity, you can click on the GameObject right here, then click on the 3D or 2D object based on your project, and then in this tutorial, I'm gonna cover only 3D object. And there are some options here. You can see cube, sphere, capsule, cylinder, plane, quad, and text, dash text mesh pro, ragdoll, train, tree, bind zone, 3D text. Let's try cube. Now you can see a cube in the scene. If I double click on the cube, the Unity scene tab zoom on the cube. You can move it by clicking on the axes of uh, Z, X, and Y. Probably I would better that say X, Y, and Z. You can see the number of the position of X, Y, Z changing when I changing the cube position. But if you want to change the view again and by hand, you can click on this icon of hand tool here, and then you can press the left button and then move the scene view. By scrolling the scroll of the mouse, you can zoom out or zoom in, and by clicking on the right button of the mouse, you can change the angle of the view. Also, you can click on this and you will see a scene from a 2D perspective. For example, here we can only have C X axis and Y axis. Then if I click on the move tool again, we can move the cube on the X axis and the Y axis. The Z axis is here. You can see it, but it's a little bit hard if you want to move it when cube is in front of you. There are some other objects in Unity. For example, if I click on the 3D object and click sphere, you can see a circular sphere, and we can do anything that we do with cube with sphere tool. I'm gonna add a cylinder, and cylinder is just like the two other options that we cover. So in the previous tutorial, I tell you everything related to the game object shows up here in the inspector tab. We can also change the position of these objects by the inspector app instead of the Unity scene. So the position of the game object has three parameters. One is the x-axis, another is the y-axis, and another one is the z-axis. After the position, we have rotation of the game object. You can change the rotation of the game object here. Based on the axis of x, y, z. Now I'm gonna set all of them back to 0 and then try it with the Unity rotate tool. As you can see, there are few lines across the cylinder. I'm gonna move hand tool so you can view them better. The X rotation you can see changing, and then Z rotation you can see here that are going to change because I turned the game object. All of the rotations are going to change, but if again I set them back to 0, and yes, this is the y-axis that's going to change because the cylinder is circular on the top of it. You may not see the difference, so I'm gonna rotate the y-axis of the cube so we can see it better. The y-axis is changing. Let's set them to 0 again. And the last parameter of the transform component is the scale of the game object. You can increase or decrease the scale. For example, I increasing the x-axis and then y-axis and then z-axis. You can also do it with the scale tool in the Unity. Now I'm going changing the z-axis, the x-axis, and the y-axis. You can also scaling the game object with this tool, and all of the x, y, and z parameters are going to increase and decrease together. For example, if I'm going to make the sphere bigger, you can see. So that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm gonna cover more things about game objects.